Hi guys, we continue today with the next part of this chapter, final accounts of proprietary concern. In the previous two sessions, we studied how to prepare trading account and how to prepare profit and loss. First session was purely devoted to trading account and the next session was revision of trading along with understanding of preparation of profit and loss. Today in this session, I take full-fledged sum of final accounts but at a basic level along with one adjustment of closing stock. Now, you all know in the very first class I explained you all there are two main objects of preparing final accounts. One, to know the profit earned or loss incurred, for which we studied how to prepare trading account where we got the gross profit or gross loss. Second, how to prepare profit and loss account where we got the calculation how we get the net profit or net loss. So this was the first object, to know the profit earned or the loss incurred. Now what was the second main object of preparing final accounts? To know the financial position of the business. Second main object of preparing final accounts, to know the financial position of the business, for which we make the third thing, that is balance sheet. So as far as your FYJC level is concerned, there are three things to be made in each and every sum of final accounts. One, trading account. Second, profit and loss account. And third, balance sheet. Trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Now before I get into the sum, a very important point, not only important from objectives of FYJC but also objectives of SYJC, and very important point from practical life point of view. देखो ध्यान से, ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट है, इसके लिए डेबिट क्रेडिट, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट है, इसके लिए डेबिट क्रेडिट, बट बैलेंस शीट इट इज नॉट एन अकाउंट. Balance sheet is not an account, it is a statement which shows the details of assets and liabilities. Balance sheet is a statement which shows the details of assets and liabilities. Therefore, if you see, there is no debit credit because this is not an account, it is only a statement. Asset means property which belong to you and any amount which is receivable by you from someone else. And liabilities, you all know the basic meaning, where anything is payable to anybody, that is liability. So any amount payable will be a liability, and if you own any assets in the form of property or cash, bank, or if there is any amount receivable, then that will be assets. Anything receivable is an asset, anything payable is a liability. So a full-fledged sum of final accounts at your FYJC level will involve preparation of three things: trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Got it guys? Object, purpose of preparing trading account, to know the gross profit or gross loss. Purpose of preparing profit and loss account, to know the net profit or net loss. And the purpose of preparing balance sheet, to know the financial position of the business, that is to know your assets and liabilities. Clear with this guys? So this is a full-fledged sum of final accounts. Now when you solve a full-fledged sum of final accounts, they will give you two things in the question. Two things will be given in the question to solve a sum of final accounts. One is trial balance and the second is adjustments. Trial balance and adjustments. Now what is trial balance? Unfortunately that there was a chapter which 5 years back was removed from the syllabus of FYJC. Let's see later on whether they introduce it back. Anyway, meaning of trial balance is, you all have done ledger, correct? When you make ledger, after posting journal into ledger, we balance it. Ledger account will show either debit balance or credit balance, and in few cases it will show a zero balance when the debit and credit both sides are equal. So trial balance is nothing but it is a list showing the details of all account balances which are debit and credit. All debit balances are put at one side, all credit balances are put at one side, and the trial balance has to tally. Tally means the total of debit and credit has to be the same. There will be cases where it won't tally, but it is not in your syllabus of FYJC final accounts. Of course, rectification may you all have done little bit suspense account. So the difference, in case the trial balance doesn't tally, then the difference goes in suspense account, but that part is not going to come in the chapter final accounts. The second thing, they will give you adjustments. What are adjustments? Later on when I come towards the end of the sum, I will explain you in detail. Adjustments may, in exam they will give you minimum 4, 5, 6, normally 7 से ज़्यादा होता नहीं है, कभी कभी 8, but normally it is between 4 to 7, and the number of adjustments depends upon the number of items given in the trial balance. If trial balance may there are few items, they might give you 1 or 2 adjustments more, and if trial balance may items are more, then they will give you few adjustments. What adjustments क्या होता है, that we will see towards the end of the sum. In your FYJC syllabus currently there are 14 adjustments, and I am going to make a reel and short of each and every adjustment after this session, so that it will be a very good thing for you all to revise during the exam and during the end moment. Every sum, those who are my regular students, every sum you will see the understanding of effect of adjustments. At the same time, I will be making reel and short which will be open on YouTube, so everybody can take the advantage of understanding adjustments. Okay, now let's start with the sum. As I told you, every sum of final accounts will have a trial balance along with the adjustment. Will have a trial balance along with the adjustment. Now, this is an open video on the YouTube. So those who are watching it on YouTube, description box में पूरा का पूरा question है. Okay, let's read the question. Then I'll discuss with you all the formatting कैसे बनाना है. Let's see. From the following trial balance and adjustments given by Mr. Parth, prepare final accounts for the year ending 31st December 24. Opening stock given, purchases, wages, purchase return. Put a mark on purchases. Purchase return दिया है, put a mark on purchases. Carriage inward, carriage outward, sales, sales return. Put a mark on sales. Capital drawings, discount allowed, discount received. Cash and bank, traveling expense, salary, rent, commission received. Bad debts, plant and machinery, land and building, furniture, fixtures, debtors, creditors, bills receivable, bills payable. So you have 2 marks. One is on purchase because of purchase return, and one is on sales because of sales return. You all have done this in the previous session. Now I'll repeat again, guys. I'll just suggest you all, those who have not yet seen the previous 2 sessions where I made you understand how to prepare trading and P&L, please go back, usko pehle dekho, then come here, because without that this will become difficult for you all to understand, and if you do that 50 to 60% काम इधर हो गया. Okay, and see, there is one adjustment, closing stock valued at 50,000, that we will do towards the end. Now see guys, format. In the books of Parth, trading account for the year ending 31st December 24. Now if you all want, first page पे you all can make around 12 lines का trading account, उसके नीचे P&L, और एक पेज पे ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट 12-15 लाइन का, नेक्स्ट पेज पे P&L अकाउंट ऑफ अराउंड अगेन 15 लाइन्स, बट आगे जाके where there are more adjustments you will need full page for P&L. So the best thing is कंजूसी मत करो, ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट, P&L अकाउंट, बैलेंस शीट तीनों अलग अलग पेज पे ले लो. You can keep 15 lines and anyway it is on different pages. So even if you take full page, doesn't matter. Do that because आगे जाके there will be few cases where you will have to make working notes. So that working notes can be done below the trading account. So the best thing is easy understanding, better presentation. एक पेज पे ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट करो, नेक्स्ट पेज पे प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस करो, एंड थर्ड पेज पे बैलेंस शीट. बिकॉज इन योर FYJC एंड SYJC यू विल बी गेटिंग बोर्ड एग्जाम्स में एंड कॉलेज में A4 साइज का पेपर. सो वो ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट P&L फिट करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. सो ऑल थ्री ऑन सेपरेट पेजेस यू मेक. Okay guys, chalo. Now the first thing is we have to do the posting of the trial balance. Each and every item of trial balance will go at any one place. Trading, debit or credit, P&L, debit or credit, balance sheet, liability or asset. New part is balance sheet. It is a statement showing details of all assets and liabilities. I'll repeat, anything which is payable is a liability, and all property, your belongings and anything receivable by you will be assets. Don't worry, we will discuss in depth one by one. Trading P&L ka concept you all know, you all have done it in the previous two sessions, but again, good thing for you all, it will be revised again. Okay, chalo, let's start. Opening stock. We know very well what is opening stock. Opening stock is the stock on the first day of the year. It is my closing stock of the last year. जो बचा हुआ है, now I will use it in the current year. So opening stock comes during the current year from the previous year. We discussed trading account will always start with opening stock. So come to the debit side of trading account to opening stock. No adjustment, no mark, straight away in the second column, 20,000. So to opening stock account, 20,000. Purchases. Purchases, goods come in. Goods come in, we debit trading account. Goods go out, we credit. Goods come in, we debit. Goods go out, we credit. So purchases, goods are coming in. There is a mark. So put it in the inner column. That is 3,20,000 and leave a line. Wherever there is a mark, please leave one line. Okay. Next, wages. We have discussed in the earlier two sessions. Wages means the salary paid to the workers who are working for producing the goods. Any expenses which are direct in nature. Direct in nature means directly related to purchase or production of goods. Directly related to purchase or production of goods will be debited to trading account. So wages will be debited to trading account straight away outside to wages account 80,000. Straight away outside to wages account, that is 80,000. Okay. Next, purchase return. We know very well purchase returns are deducted from purchases. The figure of purchases which has to come outside has to be net purchase. Net purchase means after deducting purchase returns and in case there are any other adjustments. So in short, purchase returns will always be deducted from purchases. So इसको purchases में से minus कर दो, right there. Less returns, that is 20,000. So 3,20,000 minus 3 lakh gives you your net purchases. 3,20,000 minus 20,000 gives you your net purchases. Remember, sales and purchases outside has to be net, that is after all adjustments including returns. Okay, next. Now see, carriage inward, carriage outward. We have discussed earlier. Carriage means transport charges. Carriage is another name for transport charges. Now when I say carriage, there are two types of carriages. One is inward, one is outward. Now when I say inward, that means coming in. And when I say outward, that means going out. Inward matlab coming in. Outward matlab going out. So carriage inward first is transport charges paid on purchase of goods. Since it is paid on purchase of goods, it will be a direct expense and will be debited to trading account. Since it is an expense paid on purchase of goods, it is a direct expense and will be debited to trading account. Remember, any expense paid on purchase or production of goods is a direct expense and therefore it will be debited to trading. So carriage inward, come to the debit side of trading account, right there. To carriage inward account, that is 30,000. To carriage inward account, that is 30,000. Next, carriage outward. We saw carriage inward. Carriage inward क्या था? Carriage paid on purchase of goods. Now carriage outward, outward going out. So carriage outward is transport charges paid on sale of goods. Carriage outward, transport charges paid on sale of goods, and because it is an indirect expense, it will be debited to P&L. All direct expenses debit to trading account, all indirect expenses debit to P&L. So carriage inward, because it was on purchase of goods, direct, debited to trading. Outward is indirect, therefore you will debit P&L. So to carriage outward account, that is 10,000. To carriage outward, that is 10,000. Got it, guys? Next, sales. Sales means goods going out. I sell goods, goods go out. When I purchase, goods come in, so I debit. When I sell, goods go out, therefore I will credit. So come to the credit side of trading account. As I told you, credit side will always start with sales and there is an adjustment for returns. So put sales in the inner column, 7,25,000 and leave a line. Put sales 7,25,000 in the inner column and leave a line. Next, sales return. Purchase returns we deducted from purchases. Sales return we will deduct from sales. So below sales, less returns 25,000. So you get here 7 lakh. So 725 minus 25,000, that is 7 lakhs. So 725 minus 25, 7 lakh is my net sales. I'll repeat. Purchases, goods come in, so we debit trading account. Purchase returns deduct from purchases. Sales, goods go out, so we credit trading account, it's an income. And sales return deduct from sales. So purchase return deduct from purchases and sales return deduct from sales. Okay guys, now listen. Capital. You all have done in the starting. Capital is the money with which the business is started. Khud ka paisa. Your own money with which you start business is capital. Now, I don't know how many of you remember accounting concept you all have done. Business entity or a separate entity concept. when you are doing business, you as an individual person are different and your business is different. पर्सनल लाइफ को बिजनेस लाइफ से कंपेयर मत करो, कीप इट सेपरेट. नाउ कैपिटल क्या होता है? द मनी विच द बिजनेस स्टार्टेड. ओनर का खुद का पैसा बिजनेस में आ रहा है. फाइनल अकाउंट्स वी आर डूइंग इट फॉर बिजनेस. सो कैपिटल बिजनेस में यूज हो रहा है, ओनर का है, so that is to be paid to the owner. बिजनेस ओनर का पैसा यूज कर रहा है जो कैपिटल है, आगे जाके ओनर को उसे वापस करना है. सो फॉर द बिजनेस को ओनर को वापस करना है. सो फॉर द बिजनेस इट इज पेएबल टू द ओनर एंड देयरफॉर बिकॉज इट इज पेएबल, कैपिटल फॉर बिजनेस विल ऑलवेज बी अ लायबिलिटी. हमेशा स्टूडेंट्स को ये कंफ्यूजन होता है, सबको पता है कैपिटल इधर आएगा, बट क्यों? आई रिपीट, ओनर का पर्सनल पैसा उसने बिजनेस को दिया है, ये हम बना रहे हैं बिजनेस के लिए. बिजनेस आगे जाके जब भी बंद होगा या ओनर को उसका पैसा चाहिए, बिजनेस को उसे वापस करना पड़ेगा. सो फॉर द बिजनेस इट इज अ लायबिलिटी एंड लायबिलिटी से स्टार्ट होगा कैपिटल. In short, the first item on the liability side will always be capital. Now what you will do? Write capital, underline opening balance and put in the first column 5 lakhs. Put in the first column 5 lakhs. Why? Because there are few deductions which will be made against capital and end में जो भी तुम्हारा नेट प्रॉफिट नेट लॉस आएगा वो भी कैपिटल में एडजस्ट होगा. कैसे? दैट वी विल सी सम टाइम. व्हाट इट? इवन इफ यू डोंट राइट ओपनिंग बैलेंस, कैपिटल इनर कॉलम में लिखोगे चलेगा, बट दिस इज आई प्रेफर राइटिंग दिस वे. सो कैपिटल अंडरलाइन फर्स्ट कॉलम में ओपनिंग बैलेंस. सो व्हाई कैपिटल इज अ लायबिलिटी? पर्सनल मनी ऑफ द बिजनेस, बिजनेस को ओनर को वापस करना है, देयरफॉर अ लायबिलिटी. नेक्स्ट, drawings 1 lakh. You all have done starting में. What is drawings? Drawing is nothing but personal withdrawal made by the businessman. Drawings is nothing but personal withdrawal made by the businessman. Any expenses which are incurred in business will be debited to trading or P&L account. Any expenses which are incurred in business will be debited to trading or P&L, and any expenses which are personal in nature, because they are not business expenses, it won't come here, but it is a personal expense. So personal expense will be deducted from the owner's account because owner has withdrawn money for his personal use. So logic देखो, ये ओनर को देना है, इसमें से 1 लाख ओनर लेके जा रहा है. सो ड्रॉइंग्स विल ऑलवेज बी डिडक्टेड फ्रॉम कैपिटल. सो ड्रॉइंग्स यू विल माइनस फ्रॉम कैपिटल. व्हाई? बिजनेस एक्सपेंस रहेगा, यू विल डेबिट ट्रेडिंग P&L, बट पर्सनल एक्सपेंस है, सो जो पैसा हमें ओनर को देना है उसमें से उसको डिडक्ट कर लो. सो नाउ यू कैन से I have to give him 5 lakhs. I have to recover from him 1 lakh. So 5 minus 1 उसे 4 देना है. So in short, FYJC syllabus में drawings which is a personal expense will not be debited to trading P&L but will always be deducted from capital. So capital starts on the liability side. Liability का first item will be capital and drawings you will deduct from capital because it is a personal expense and it is to be deducted from the personal amount payable of the owner, that is capital. Clear? Next, discount allowed. We have done earlier. When you give discount, it is an expense. When we receive discount, it's an income. देखो, discount allowed तुम्हारा डेबिट साइड पे है 5000. We give discount to our customers. For us, it is an expense. So come to the debit side. Okay. So to discount allowed account, that is 5,000. Expense therefore debited to P&L. Next, discount received 3,000. When I give discount, it's an expense. When I receive discount, it's an income. Come to the credit side of P&L, discount will never go to trading. और याद रखना जो मैंने बोला है, when you write anything on the debit or credit side of P&L, leave one line for gross profit or gross loss, and you will put here by discount received, that is 3,000. So discount allowed, debit P&L, it's an expense. Discount received, credit P&L, it is an income. Clear? Next. Now listen. Cash and bank. What is cash and bank? Cash and bank means the cash balance which you have with you and the balance which is there in the bank. Cash and bank means the cash balance which is with you and the balance which you have in bank. किसकी प्रॉपर्टी है? किसका पैसा है? बिजनेस का. So it is a belonging or a property owned by the business, and because it is owned by the business, business का पैसा है, therefore for the business it's an asset. So cash and bank, because it is the money belonging to the business on the last day of the year, for the business it will be an asset. So asset side पे आएगा 40,000. So cash and bank will be on the asset side, that is 40,000. Got it? Business की property, business का पैसा will be an asset for the business. Traveling expense. Expense है, traveling मतलब business के लिए है. It's a business expense. Now the question is whether I put it on debit or credit. Traveling, if nothing is given, it is always done by the salesman. Traveling अगर कुछ भी नहीं बोला, it is always incurred by the salesman. Salesman is the person who helps us in selling the goods. So it is an expense related to sale of goods. Therefore, an indirect expense and will be debited to P&L. So come to the debit side of P&L. To traveling expenses, that is 20,000. So traveling expense is an indirect expense. Debit P&L, that is 20,000. Had they told you traveling expense on purchases, you would have debited to trading account. But only traveling expense normally means incurred by the salesman. Therefore, indirect expense debit P&L. Next, salaries. Salary means salary paid to staff. Only salaries means salary paid to office staff. So it will come here. यहाँ पे देखो already wages है. Salary paid to the workers will be wages, and only salary is salary paid to office staff. Office staff का salary will be an indirect expense. Therefore, you will debit P&L. So debit side of P&L, two salaries, that is 1,50,000. So salary is an office expense, debit P&L to salary account 1,50,000. Rent. Now see, rent can be two ways. The rent which you pay, the rent which you receive. This rent is there on the debit side. Debit the losses and expenses. Therefore, it is an expense. They have given you only rent. Had they told you factory rent would be a direct expense, debit trading, but again only rent will be the rent of office or the warehouse. Warehouse means the place from where the goods are sold. So factory rent bola rahega to trading, and only rent would be indirect expense. Therefore, you will debit P&L. So come to the debit side of P&L to rent account, that is 70,000. To rent account, that is 70,000. Next, commission received. Commission received. When I pay commission, it is an expense. When I receive commission, it's an income. Income hai, therefore you will credit P&L. Commission received has got nothing to do with trading. Only commission paid is sales commission, debit P&L. Commission received is means an income, and incomes except for sales, nothing goes to trading account. So commission received will be an income which you will credit P&L. डिस्काउंट लिखा हुआ है, डिस्काउंट के नीचे लिखो by commission received, that is 7,000. By commission received, that is 7,000. Okay. Next, bad debts. You all know, you all have done earlier. What is bad debts? Irrecoverable loss. Bad debts is an irrecoverable loss. मुझे किसी से पैसा लेना है, जिससे भी पैसा लेना है, that person has become insolvent. He is not in a position to pay me the money. So मेरा loss हो गया, and because it's a loss, it will be an expense. And bad debts is normally incurred when the goods are sold on credit. It has got nothing to do with trading account. So bad debts, irrecoverable loss, always will be an indirect expense, and therefore you will debit P&L. So two bad debts, that is 8,000. Bad debts मुझे रिकवर करना है, लेकिन मुझे नहीं मिलने वाला है, बिकॉज जिससे लेना है that person has become insolvent, therefore it is my loss. Okay, now see, the rest all are very simple. Understand this. Plant and machinery क्या है? प्रॉपर्टी. मेरी प्रॉपर्टी है, मैंने अपने खुद के पैसे से परचेज किया है, therefore it is my property, my belonging, my property, my belonging, nothing but my asset. So come to the asset side and write there plant and machinery, that is 50,000. Plant and machinery, that is 50,000. Can I say the same thing applies for land and building? मैंने अपने पैसे से खरीदा है, मेरी प्रॉपर्टी है, मेरी belonging, therefore an asset. So land and building is an asset. So put it outside 3 lakh. Now guys here हम लोग ट्रेडिंग P&L में नॉर्मली वर्ड लिखते हैं ना, अकाउंट. यहाँ पे तुमको अकाउंट लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है. बैलेंस शीट में देयर इज नो नीड टू राइट द वर्ड अकाउंट. ओके. नेक्स्ट, फर्नीचर एंड फिक्सचर्स, सेम थिंग. मैं अपने ऑफिस, अपने फैक्ट्री में फर्नीचर यूज कर रहा हूं, मैंने अपने खुद के पैसे से खरीदा है, मेरा फर्नीचर है, मेरी प्रॉपर्टी है, therefore for us it is an asset. So furniture and fixtures, it is an asset, therefore 30,000. So furniture and fixture will be an asset, that is 30,000. Clear? Next, sundry debtors. मैंने क्या बोला था स्टार्टिंग में? Anything receivable is an asset, anything payable is a liability. When I say sundry debtors, debtors मतलब debtors are the people from whom we have to recover money. And remember, some people call it as debtors. It is not debtors. B is silent. So when I say sundry debtors means the person or the people from whom money is recoverable. Sundry debtors means the person from whom money is recoverable, and anything receivable for me is an asset. Anything receivable asset, anything payable liability. Debtors से पैसा लेना है, so come here and write there sundry debtors, the amount of debtors, that is 80,000. Now listen, you all will be wondering why the word sundry is there. When I say debtor, debtor means the person from whom I have to recover money. And when I say sundry, sundry मतलब एक से ज़्यादा. Suppose I have to recover from 5 people. Total पांचों का amount is sundry debtors. If I just have to recover from one person, I use the word debtor. So when I say sundry debtors, normally the interpretation is this 80,000 is recovered from a group of people. एक से ज़्यादा जो total amount recover करना है वो 80,000 है. So only debtor means single person, and debtors or sundry debtors means more than one person. Okay. Anything receivable asset. Creditors. Creditors are the people from whom we buy goods on credit. उन्हें पैसा देना बाकी है. Debtors से पैसा लेना है, creditors को पैसा देना है. देना है मतलब payable. Anything receivable is an asset, anything payable is a liability. So creditors or sundry creditors will go on the liability side. But guys, just be careful. Drawings के बाद 2-3 लाइन छोड़ देना and then you write creditors, because आगे जाके net profit या net loss वहां पे आएगा. So sundry creditors 75,000. Sundry creditors 75,000. I'll repeat. Debtors से पैसा लेना है, asset. Creditors को पैसा देना है, therefore liability. Clear? Now see the next two. Bills receivable, bills payable. You can make out from the word itself. Now see, bill receivable, bills payable is something which is going to come in detail in FYJC. You have a chapter also, bills of exchange. Right now खाली एक ध्यान रखना, bill receivable, bills payable. Name से पता चलता है anything receivable is an asset. So bill receivable will come here. पहले लिख लेते हैं, then I'll explain. Anything receivable is an asset. So come here. So bills receivable is an asset, that is 12,000, and anything payable is a liability. So bills payable will be a liability, that is 20,000. Now याद रखना, bills of exchange, you have a chapter next year. It is a negotiable instrument. It is a negotiable instrument. It is a legal document. It is a negotiable instrument. It is a legal document where मुझे जिससे पैसा लेना है, I take his signature, I put my signature. Why legal document? Because suppose मुझे किसी से पैसा लेना है 3-4 महीने के बाद, वो दे देगा, लेकिन अगर नहीं दिया तो मेरे पास लीगल स्टैंडिंग क्या है? So for that we draw a legal document, we make a legal document called as bills of exchange. Right now अगर मैं sorry तुमको explain करने बैठूंगा आधा घंटा जाएगा. So right now let's not get into that. FYJC में you will be having a separate chapter of bills of exchange. There we will see. Right now just understand it is a legal document where जिससे भी पैसा लेना है मैं वो terms and conditions उस पे लिख के उसका और मेरा साइन लेता हूं. He will accept the bill, अपना साइन करके ओके भाई मैं तुमको ये पीरियड के बाद इतना पैसा दे दूंगा. As far as this chapter is concerned, bill receivable will be an asset, bills payable liability. अगर मुझे किसी से लेना है मैं उसके ऊपर बिल ड्रॉ करूंगा तो मुझे उससे रिसीव करना है, मेरे लिए बिल रिसीवेबल. और अगर कोई मुझ पे ड्रॉ करेगा तो मुझे उसको देना है तो बिल्स पेएबल. जस्ट कीप दिस मच इन माइंड as far as the basic is concerned. So bill receivable and debtors both are receivable asset. Creditors and bills payable both are payable, therefore a liability. Sorry guys, the mic went off in between. So I was on debtors, creditors, bill receivable, bills payable. Anything receivable for as asset, anything payable liability. So debtors went on the asset side, creditors on the liability. As I told you, the meaning of sundry debtors and sundry creditors, when any amount is receivable from more than one person, sundry debtors, payable to more than one person, sundry creditors. Anything receivable is an asset, payable liability. Therefore, bill receivable will be an asset, bills payable liability. As I mentioned, bills of exchange ka chapter will come next year in FYJC in detail. There we will study how to go in detail. Right now, as I mentioned, I don't know whether the mic was off during that time. It is a legal document where you take the signature of the person from whom you have to recover money, you put your own signature, that becomes bill receivable. When I have to recover from somebody and I make that legal document, for me it becomes bill receivable. And if the opposite person has to recover from me, I have to pay them, they make a legal document, it becomes bills payable. Right now, bill receivable asset, bills payable liability. So I hope you all are clear with the posting. Suppose it's a 12 mark sum. Up to here you get 4 marks. If it is a 15 mark sum, up to here you get around 5 to 6 marks depending upon the adjustments. As I told you, there will be minimum 4 adjustments, but here we are just focusing on the basic. So now what we have done till now is posting of trial balance. Now let's see the adjustment. Now when I say adjustments, adjustments are of two types. One, dependent adjustment, and second, independent. One dependent, second independent. What is the difference? Dependent means that because of the adjustment, any of the items either in trading account, profit and loss or balance sheet gets affected and the amount changes. You have to add it to a particular item or reduce it. That is dependent. I'll repeat. Dependent adjustments are those adjustments because of the adjustments amount of any of the items given here which are written here will change. And independent adjustment means those adjustments where the effect is to be given in such a way that it will be recorded at separate independent place and it will not change any of the amounts which are written here. So independent means that which is recorded at separate independent places, it won't affect any of the items. I have just kept one adjustment of closing stock and that adjustment is independent adjustment. Now remember, trial balance, each and every item went at any of one of the place. Adjustment will go at two places. Every adjustment will have two effects. Let's take one by one. You all know the first effect of closing stock. First, see the adjustment. What is given there? Closing stock on 31st December 24 is 50,000 rupees. Now, what is closing stock? Closing stock is the stock which remains with you on the last day of the year. I have bought goods and sold goods. End of the year, मेरे पास 50,000 का goods है. What I told you in the earlier class, closing stock, unsold goods remaining at the end of the year. Bacha hua goods. Now I will not throw it away. Because it is remaining on the last day of the year, I will take it forward to the next year and next year I will sell. Goods come in, we debit trading. Goods go out, we credit. So closing stock will go in the next year. Because the goods are going out, you will credit trading account, and as I mentioned, closing stock, always put it a bit below because later on there will be adjustments which will come here. So by closing stock account, that is 50,000. By closing stock account, that is 50,000. You all have done this in the earlier two classes. Now this is a full-fledged sum of final accounts and closing stock is given in the adjustment. So you have to give two effects. So first effect क्या था? It is unsold or remaining with us on the last day of the year. We carry forward to the next year. इसको अभी next year बेचेंगे. So current year में से जाएगा. Therefore we credit trading account. First effect. Now what is the second effect? Second effect, it will go to the next year. I will sell it in the next year. But next year मुझे purchase करने का जरूरत नहीं है. Because I have already purchased in the current year. So ये stock last day of the year. ये stock last day of the year मेरे पास पड़ा है. My property, my belonging, मैंने अपने पैसे से खरीदा है. ईयर खत्म हुआ और लास्ट डे मेरे पास है. Therefore, for me, it is an asset. So, second effect, come to the asset side. Closing stock 50,000. So, closing stock का दो इफेक्ट क्या हुआ? First, credit trading account, and second, asset side. Logic, trading credit, goods go out, it will go in the next year. I will sell it in the next year, so I credit trading, and on the last day of the year मेरे पास पड़ा हुआ है, मैंने बेचा नहीं है. सो ये लास्ट डे मेरा खुद की प्रॉपर्टी है, मैंने मेरे पैसे से खरीदा है, सो मेरा एसेट. सो फर्स्ट इफेक्ट ट्रेडिंग क्रेडिट and second effect asset. As I mentioned, I'll be making reels on each and every adjustment of final accounts. तो वहां पे तुम हर एक रील का डिटेल में देख लेना the two effects. Got it guys? अभी सपोज देखो ये 12 मार्क का सम होता तो यहां तक करने का तुमको 9 से 10 मार्क मिलेगा. ऑफकोर्स एक ही एडजस्टमेंट है, they'll give you at least 4. So if it is a 12 mark sum till here, to do till here you get 9 to 10 marks. If it is a 15 mark sum, to do up to here, you get 12 to 13 marks. So, बाकी marks क्या है? Now, after doing everything, let's balance it. All of you are clear? Those are not yet clear. This is an open video on YouTube. Pause करके rewind कर लो. जितनी बार देखना है देख लो, and then come back here. Now, let's do the same thing what we did in the earlier two classes. First, balance trading account. After doing posting, after doing all the adjustments, first step, balance trading account. See which side is greater. 7 and 50. Credit side clearly ज़्यादा लग रहा है. So after closing stock, credit side is higher. So दोनों जगह same line. This you all know. Basic of ledger, that is 7,50,000. 7,50,000 right at both the places. Now see the credit of this. Total देखो credit का 20 and 324, 430. 750 minus 430, 320. Credit side का total is 7,50,000. Debit side का total is 430. 750 minus 430. This will give you 3,20,000. 750 minus 430, 3,20,000. This 3,20,000 is nothing but your gross profit. So to gross profit carried down 3,20,000. 750 minus 430. So 3,20,000 is gross profit carried down. Why we write the word carried down? Because it goes to P&L. So P&L में आएगा by gross profit brought down, that is 3,20,000. Got it? This you all have done. I'll repeat. Trading को बंद करो. Credit side ज़्यादा है. Write the total of credit side at both the places. उसमें से debit minus करो. This is your gross profit. Gross profit, you bring it here. So by gross profit brought down 3,20,000. We leave one line each. Why? To write the gross profit. अगर gross loss होता जो तुम्हारे syllabus में रहे, then it has to come here. So always remember, when you start the posting on the P&L, debit as well as credit, leave one line each. That is for gross profit. We got the gross profit. Now what is the main purpose of preparing profit and loss account? To get the net profit or net loss. Let's see. देखो क्रेडिट साइड 323, क्रेडिट साइड का टोटल है 330, 15, 35, 185, 255, 263, 78, 15. Yeah, 263. Let's see the difference. 67,000. So the difference is 67,000 and the total of the credit side is 330. So 3,30,000 is the total of the credit side and debit को minus करने के बाद 67. This 67 is nothing but by net profit. So here you will write to net profit transferred to capital account. Even if you write net profit carried down, that's fine. Got it? ये हमने पहले भी किया था. Gross profit you get from trading, net profit P&L. Last two sessions we just focus here. Now what you have written? Transfer to capital. याद है मैंने बोला था when you put capital, put in the inner column. Why? Net profit या net loss adjust होगा. Now listen. Business ने profit earn किया है. बिजनेस कौन चला रहा है? ओनर पार्थ. सो ये पैसा पार्थ की मेहनत का है. सो ये पार्थ को मिलेगा. दिस इज द अमाउंट पेएबल टू पार्थ. सो नेट प्रॉफिट अर्न विल बी एडेड टू कैपिटल. तो यहां पे आएगा एड नेट प्रॉफिट 67,000. टेक द डिफरेंस 5 minus 1. देखो 5 lakh minus 1 lakh 4 lakh. 4 lakh plus 67,467. So if there is a net profit, you will add it to capital, and suppose debit side ज्यादा होता और यहाँ पे loss होता, then you will deduct from capital. So net profit added to capital, net loss minus. क्यों add किया? Business is run by Parth. वो मेहनत करेगा, प्रॉफिट उसको दे दो. उसका नसीब खराब होगा, लॉस इनकर हुआ, तो उसने जो अमाउंट बिजनेस में डाला है कैपिटल, वहां से माइनस कर दो. गॉट इट? सो नेट प्रॉफिट ऑलवेज एडेड टू कैपिटल एंड नेट लॉस माइनस. 12 मार्क का सम होगा, यहां तक करने का 11 मार्क. 15 मार्क का सम होगा, यहां तक करने का 14 मार्क्स. 1 मार्क फॉर टैली. Now when I say tallying मतलब take the balance sheet का total and remember balance sheet always has to tally. Tally मतलब liability and asset side का total same होना चाहिए. अगर नहीं है, या तो क्वेश्चन में कोई मिस्टेक है या तो तुमने कोई मिस्टेक किया. It has to tally. Let's see the total of both the sides. 467, 5, 472, 542, 562, 90, 390, 425, 5,62,000. Check कर लो guys. The total of balance sheet is 5,62,000. Now एक चीज ध्यान रखना, many students have this very bad habit. वो लोग क्या करते हैं ना, normally the number of items on the liability side are less. So what they do ना, यहां का टोटल लेके वही टोटल इधर लिख देते हैं. If you have done everything right, you are safe. बट अगर तुमने यही टोटल उधर लिखा और एग्जामिनर के पास तो सोल्यूशन होगा, तो उसे पता चल जाएगा यू हैव जस्ट कॉपी पेस्टेड द टोटल. तुम्हारा 1, 2 या 3 मार्क भी माइनस हो सकता है. सो प्लीज डोंट डू दैट. उसका 2 रीजंस है. यू विल लूज मार्क्स एंड एट द सेम टाइम इफ यू डू प्रॉपर तो तुम्हें भी पता चलेगा तुम्हारा सम करेक्ट है कि नहीं. So always take the total of each and every item of assets as well as liability and see to it that it tallies. Got it? So liability and assets ka total has to be the same. This is the basic of final accounts. Hope this is clear. I won't waste more time. इसको परफेक्ट कर दो गाइस. आई रिपीट, मैं यूट्यूब पे फर्स्ट सेशन ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट, सेकेंड ट्रेडिंग पीएनएल एंड दिस वीडियो, मैं तीनों को पब्लिक में ओपन रख रहा हूं, इंडिविजुअली एज वेल एज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ प्लेलिस्ट. प्लीज ये तीन बराबर देख लेना, देन ओनली गो अहेड. ये तीन तुमने बराबर देख लिया, समझो यू गॉट द बेस प्रॉपर्ली. और अगर ये तीन तुमने बराबर नहीं देखा तो you will struggle. So please see to it that you get this concept thoroughly. And as I mentioned, next year FYJC में भी तुम्हें final accounts है, but ये sole trader का है. And next class what you will be having will be for a partnership firm. But what you are doing here, 60 to 70% will be same what you are going to do in FYJC. You can say up to 75% is same. So getting the base of final accounts of FYJC is important, not only from FYJC point of view, because सबसे ज़्यादा mark final accounts का ही आता है. At the same time, it will be handy for the future years का final accounts, that is FYJC and degree college. So please see to it that FYJC का final accounts का base is proper. And as I mentioned, I'll be making reels of each and every adjustment of final accounts, which will be open on YouTube. Get this concept clearly, and after studying the full chapter, you all can revise the reads and shorts and make your concept of giving effects of adjustment much clearer. बाकी सब तो routine है. That's it guys. I wind up here. Please तीनों वीडियो बराबर देख लेना. Preparation of trading PNL, and this one, and then only go further. That's it guys. Take care.